Steve Jobs, one of the most creative, influential, and quality-obsessed founders in modern times. He co-created Apple, the company behind the Macintosh computer, the iPhone, the iPad, and services like Apple Music and Apple TV. He also founded Pixar, the first computer animation studio which created Toy Story. Hey, I'm Rick, and in today's video I want to talk about 3 key mentalities that made Steve Jobs one of the most successful entrepreneurs of our time. By the way, if you're a tech business owner or a leader, go and check out a couple of gifts I made for you. The first one is the Steve Jobs Product Quality Checklist, a brutally honest checklist you can run your product through before shipping anything. And the second one, the Steve Jobs Product Clarity AI Prompt, one reusable AI prompt you can customize for your product, your team, and your situation. All right, so back to these 3 mentalities. I'm gonna read 3 quotes for you from Steve himself. If you keep your eye on the profit, you're going to skimp on the product. But if you focus on making really great products, then the profits will follow. Apple was built with passion, and Steve Jobs was obsessed with details that most people would never notice. An example of this was the first Apple computer. He demanded that the chipset, the insides of the computer, needed to be beautiful, even though they were going to be hidden from users. The same with the other products. Every interaction needed to feel magical. Look at the iPhone, for example, or the modern Macintosh computers. So here's a question for you. How obsessed are you with the quality and the details of your projects and your products? That doesn't mean, by the way, that you need to have every single detail of your project perfect before launching, but instead having a mentality of perfection. How can you slowly and iteratively make your project and your product and your company better in order to achieve that perfection? People think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. Did you know that back in 1985, Steve Jobs was fired from Apple? Yes, the company that he co-founded. So he stepped down as a CEO, and 12 years later, he came back to a broken Apple. They were not dominating the market. They were trying to survive by copying IBM and Microsoft and other competitors. So when he returned, he found that Apple was working on a wide variety of projects. They had a huge backlog. None of those projects were really differentiating them from their competition. So what he did was he scraped everything and he focused on the development of the Macintosh computer. All right, so what's that one thing that will differentiate you from your competitors? And what are the things that you're working on that you shouldn't be really doing because they don't move the needle for you and your business? If you're going to make something, it doesn't take any more energy, and rarely does it take more money to make it really great. All it takes is a little more time, not that much more, and a willingness to do so. A willingness to persevere until it's really great. Look, it's no secret, as you know, that there's a difference between an Apple computer and another computer, between an iPhone and another phone. And there's a reason for that. The reason is that Steve Jobs' obsession with quality and design is what defined Apple as a brand. And when people hear about Apple, the first thing that comes to mind is quality, design, easiness of use, intuition. You can see examples of creating something really great regardless of your resources in other areas outside of Apple, for example. Let's take a look at the movie industry. Nowadays, major blockbuster movies and TV shows are created like very sloppy and generic and soulless, because all they care about nowadays is profit. And there are these small studios and small teams that create beautiful pictures and wonderful storytelling, and you can see that difference because they are incentivized by love and by attention to detail and by creating something really, really great versus just profitability. And guess what? They end up making more money than these big blockbuster studios. So a question for you: How can you make sure that you are building something really great? Are you paying attention to high quality standards? Are you paying attention to the way you produce your projects and your products? All right, so here's a final question for you. How are you making sure to create something really great within your company, your team, and your project? Let me know what you think about these 3 key mentalities from Steve Jobs down in the comments below. If you like this video, please share it, subscribe. Oh, and by the way, don't forget about those 2 gifts that I created for you. Links down in the description below. See you in the next video. Bye.